fellow members. I hope this message I'm about to give you finds you well. Today, I'd like to talk about money management. I'd like to talk about simple money management. And I'm going to start off by telling you a short story. The year was 1962. I was just a young kid, and my dad had a gentleman over at our house. They both at that time worked for a meat packing company, and they were sitting in the living room conversing. And this gentleman, his name was Clyde, older man, he was in his 60s at that time. He actually grabbed my wrists and sat down and talked to me about saving money. Now, I'm just a kid. I mean, saving money, what does that really mean? It means a lot of things. Saving money, he had a motto, make a dollar, save a nickel. And, that has a lot of meaning to it. A lot of people say, well, wait a minute, what is a nickel going to do for me? But you have to look at what he's really saying. You make a dollar, you save a nickel. A nickel may not seem like a lot, but it's money that you will not miss. Remember, the key to savings is consistency. You have to constantly save money consistently and not go back in your savings and pull it out. So some people have a theory of having 2 and 3 savings accounts. One for capital expenditures, if you're going to buy something big, or one just to save. Another one could be for a vacation. Okay, but the theory is you always want to pay yourself first. Now, none of us are too old or too young to start saving. Saving is something that you can start at any age. Preferably, you want to start saving at a young age, because accumulation over time can give you some sort of wealth and comfort in your later years. So let's talk about this Clyde gentleman. He basically worked for a meat packing company for 42 years. He went to work at a place called Kangen's Meat Packing in Indianapolis, Indiana in 1920. This man was talking to me in 1962, and at that time he had been there for 42 years. Clyde saved $5 every single Friday. He was disciplined. That's another thing. You have to be disciplined. This gentleman saved $5 every Friday, never missed a beat. And because of that, he had accumulation after 42 years. Now, all the workers would get paid with him, and they'd go into the bank in those days, and they would, cash your checks. And just about all of them would take that money and run. They would go drinking and gambling, and their families would suffer back then because the breadwinner was not bringing their money home for the most part. That includes my father. But Clyde had a whole different way of doing business. He would stand in line, he'd cash his check, and he would say, I want $5 to go in my savings. Then you give me the rest in cash. And then he'd take care of his family. So along came 1963. Kangen's was going out of business. So there was another meat packing company 110 miles south of Indianapolis in Louisville, Kentucky. They were called High Grade Meat Packing Company. They bought out Kangen's. So what they did, they gave the workers 2 options. The first option was you can relocate your family 110 miles from Indianapolis to Louisville, which that was kind of hard for most workers, because their families really were planted in Indianapolis. Kids were going to school. Maybe they had a spouse that had a job. Maybe they had a home, so they had to pretty much stay there. So that was one option. The other option is the option none of us like to hear, and a layoff. And they would pay a severance package of 2 weeks. Well, old Clyde had the last laugh. Because remember, prior, they laughed at him every Friday, including my father. My father would come home and tell my mother, oh, Clyde, he put $5 in his savings, and he would just laugh. Well, the day that this merger got announced, Clyde was sitting in his car, which was paid for. And by the way, he owned a second car, and his house was paid for. And old Clyde had close to $300,000. That's in 1963. That's a lot of money. Houses were going for $10,000. Cars were going for $1,500 new. That's a lot of money. And that's because he chose to be smart and be comfortable in his retirement age. You know, a lot of folks don't realize this, but when you struggle when you're older, you can have health problems. Health problems are the root of a lot of people that are struggling financially. And you really have to look at that. But if you're young, you start out saving. I started saving. It took me about 5 years after Clyde talked to me. I started saving at about 12 years old. Paper routes, I'd put a little money, start off putting money in a piggy bank, cutting lawns for a quarter, shoveling snow for a quarter. I started putting money away. And also, the second person that really helped me was my mom. My mom was very thrifty. She knew how to feed her kids on very little. But my point for bringing this out, I care about you members, all of our members. I care about you guys. And I want you guys to live successful lives. I want you to live long, successful lives. Do you know, as long as you're doing what you have to do, you exercise, you take care of your finances, you can live a lot longer. This old disease of cancer will hit us sometimes, and cancer sometimes is brought on by stress. And what I'm saying to my membership here is I want you guys to take this at heart. Save a little money. Put money back. Now, we have some things here at the credit union that can help you with that. We have what we call, and we've had it for years, a Christmas club. Now's the time that you can get ready to sign up for it. Put it on allotment. Have it automatically come out of your paycheck. Set an amount that's comfortable for you that you're not going to go back and take it out. It's an automatic thing. And believe me, toward the end of November, we fund that account. We put that in your checking account or your 01 account. Now you have your Christmas money. So that's one form of saving. The other thing I want to talk about using an old-fashioned checkbook. Checkbooks, a lot of people connect that with writing a check. A lot of us aren't writing a lot of checks these days. Keep track of your spending by using your checkbook. You want to go through that, and you want to maybe once a week, sit down at the end of the week, and you tally up what you spent. You can go online, you can look at your transactions, you can kind of go from there. So please organize yourself. And a lot of you folks, some of the old timers will come to me and they'll say, Mr. Wiggington, I'm ready to retire. Okay, if you haven't saved money and you haven't straightened your credit out, let's say your credit is lacking a little bit, it's going to hurt you in retirement. So I am here as an ambassador of the credit union. I'm here to help you. You can always give us a call. I'll see any of my members and I'll help you with money management because I want the best for our members. I want you guys, to just, when you're ready to retire, come in here and we'll do like a little simulation to see where you are. And that's my message to you. I just want to make sure all of you hear this message, but call us. We're here to help you. Thank you so much for being a member of Priority One Credit Union. Thank you.
Priority